India's tour of the West Indies is in many ways the beginning of a new cycle. There was a cycle that ended with the World Cup. I thought it was an 18-month cycle that incorporated lots of away tours and a World Cup. There was so much riding on it. And I thought the end of that World Cup was a wonderful time for everybody to sit together and see what India did right, what India did wrong. It was a wonderful time to have a review. I don't know if there was a review, I'm not privy to that. If there was one conducted in private, that's wonderful. But what I do hope, desperately do hope, was that at the end of that 18-month cycle that started with the tour of South Africa and ended with the World Cup, that there was a review done. Now, a review is not an interrogation. The moment in the media you say, we needed a review, the assumption is you were sitting with a ruler and asking someone to put his hand out to give him a little rap on the knuckles. No, reviews can be very positive. Reviews can be very encouraging. The objective of a review is to see what you did right, see what you did wrong, maybe encourage people, maybe admonish them a little bit, pull someone up a little bit, but in the end, the message you're sending out is that we're all answerable, we're all accountable. All of us in Cricbuzz are as well. We're all answerable, we're all accountable. We must all review our performances. There's another reason I was hoping that there would be a review like that. I thought the period starting from India's tour to South Africa was one of the most exciting in all the years that I have watched and covered Indian cricket. There was South Africa, there were four key elements: South Africa, England, Australia, World Cup. And I genuinely believed India had an unprecedented opportunity of winning all four. India started slowly in South Africa. India always starts slowly in South Africa. And then on the most difficult surface of all, India won, but the series was 2-1. Then England, 4-1 in England. And you can say what you want. That was a very, very disappointing result. Then India probably won the easiest of the four. But you don't just brush that aside because Australia was the weakest Australia that I've ever seen turn up, because there's a reason. Over the years, India never won in Australia. It's a very hard country to go and win, and they come hard at you. The media comes hard at you. Everyone does. So winning in Australia was a fantastic achievement. It was the easier of the four, but it was you don't dilute what was achieved there. It was a fantastic achievement. And then the World Cup. Now, you can look at these four and say, yes, India number one in test match rankings, number two in ODI rankings, that's not bad. You won, 10, 11, whatever it was, 10 ODI bilateral series in a row. Even at the World Cup, at the end of the league stage, India were number one. And these are not numbers to be scoffed at. These are fantastic results. But it depends on what your ambition is. If India's ambition is to be happy with these four, saying we were number one here, we were number two there, we finished number one in the league stage, we won 10, 11 bilateral series, then yes, the review will say, well done, India, fantastic. But if your ambitions are loftier, then you will say, no, but we didn't win in South Africa, but we didn't win in England, and we haven't won an ICC tournament since 2013. India have gone out at crucial stages in 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, and now 2019. That's 2 World Cups, there's a Champions Trophy and 2 World T20s. Then maybe you need to look and say that maybe India could have done a little bit better. And that's why I was hoping there'd be a review to say, what have we done right? What can we build on? Where are our weaknesses? How can we address those weaknesses? And that is why I believe at the heart of all good governance, great governance in every company, you review. Chief executives who are doing fantastic work still report to a board of governors to a board of directors every 3 months, every 6 months. At the end of a year, you might have a 20% market share growth, but you still have a review at the end. And what I would have liked to see was a review that had the captain, the coach, the chief executive, maybe the head of operations, because you want to see how to structure first class or domestic cricket accordingly, the chairman of selectors, and the person in charge of junior cricket. And ideally, the captain and coach then say, you know what, we've looked at it, these are our strong points, but we see a problem coming up here. Chairman of selectors, have you seen some talent that is coming through? Therefore, Chairman of selectors, can you start picking those kind of people at under 19 India A level so that 5 years later that gap is breached? Who is looking after that? Rahul Dravid is head of your NCA, so he's on that meeting as well. 6 or 7 people all come together, chaired by the chief executive, and you say, right, this is what we did in 16 months, this is what we're going to be looking ahead. And as I said, I really do hope that meeting was conducted in private, because I genuinely believe that in the history of cricket, from the time India played its first test match in 1932, I don't think there has been a greater configuration of the planets, of the elements, of talents, of skills, of resources to allow India to be the undisputed number one, dare I say number one and number two, much like Australia were in the late 90s. We often said that the number two team in the world was Australia A. I think India is poised for that, and that is why I hope that review did happen in private, and I hope it threw up some very interesting questions and long-term prospects for Indian cricket.